Hey y'all, thank y'all for clicking on today's video. We are beyond excited to dive into the epic world of Disney once again because this is big. The Lion King, it just isn't a Disney classic. It's an absolute cornerstone of storytelling. And today, we're talking about its true prequel, Mufasa, the Lion King. From orphan to king, this is Mufasa's journey, a story we've all been waiting for. But before we get into it, let's throw it back. What is your very first memory of the Lion King? For me, it has to be the classic, the OG original Lion King. That's still to this day my favorite. 1 and 2 are still my absolute favorite. Now let's jump into it and see if Mufasa lives up to the legacy. And as always, remember this review is spoiler free to make sure it's a story you'll want to see. Let's check it out.
Mufasa the Lion King is a prequel to the beloved 94 animated classic, and for that matter, the 2019 live-action remake. It's directed by Barry Jenkins, who also did Moonlight, and let's just get this out the way now. It's not an instant classic by any means, but it's packed with heart, gorgeous visuals, and a compelling story about how Mufasa went from an orphan to the almighty king that we admire. All right, you guys, and you guys know me, I'm always gonna bring this to a family aspect, and what's fascinating about this one is just, it really does bridge generations. It had families flocking to the theater, we had kids running around the auditorium, and I mean, us millennials, yes, we may still hold that nostalgia for the original animation, but this one does have its own charm. Oh, and how can I even forget? This film is dedicated to the legendary James Earl Jones, who's an absolute icon on whose voice really shaped much of the Lion King world. It's a fitting tribute for sure.
The story is narrated by the ever-wise Rafiki, voiced by John Connie, who takes us back to Mufasa's origins. Think of it as sitting at a campfire while your favorite elders spill the tea, but lion style. We learn about young Mufasa, who became an orphan and trying to really just find his place, and meet Scar, well, before he turned into Scar. Then there's Kiara, of course, who is Simba and Nala's daughter, and she's just really curious about the lion who shaped her father, and that curiosity drives that narrative. It's a tale of loyalty, betrayal, and the hard lessons that shaped Mufasa into the king we know. What really worked for me was seeing Mufasa as a lion with doubts, dreams, and flaws. He didn't ask for this life. Honestly, this life chose him. Watching him rise to the challenge, forge friendships that became family, and deal with Scar's complicated vibes makes the story hit differently. And let's not forget about Timon and Pumbaa. I mean, make this movie with their wits and charm and their jokes, just like you would get in the original. They came in just as fresh and hot, and I enjoyed seeing them, and I'm glad that they were there.
What I liked about the movie Mufasa is the way that they made it way more adventurous and detail about it. Another thing I liked about the movie is the way Mufasa and Taka grew up to be good brothers.
What I liked about the movie was the songs, and my favorite song was when the white lion was saying this song and kept saying bye-bye. And my favorite character was Mufasa because he was being a good brother to Taka.
Disney pulled out all the big guns for the cast, and you could really tell the love that was put into it. Pierre delivers a strong performance as Mufasa, nailing that balance between youthful energy and that budding leadership, learning at a young age. You got Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Taka, aka basically Scar. He's a standout. He's simmering resentment, practically leaps off the screen. You could feel the jealousy and the envy just coming off of him. And yes, we have the debut of Blue Ivy, Beyoncé's little superstar. She makes her debut as young Kiara, and giving that young generation for someone to really latch on to build this story even better. And like I kind of mentioned, the visuals are stunning. It's a very hyper detailed, immersive world that he wanted to make come alive.
Live action musicals with animals tend to be a little tricky, but this one, it tones it down a bit. And the songs, even though they don't really hit as hard as the original, they still work for the movie and help move the story forward. And y'all, if you guys are expecting a grand Hakuna Matata moment, be prepared to be underwhelmed. But with that said, the tone, it still fits the film's more grounded approach while still building the universe around it. Then we have the villain, Kairos, who was voiced by Mad Mikkelsen, and he did a solid job. You'll start to see how some of Scar's moves were clearly inspired by this guy. And the middle of the movie, it does drop a little bit in energy, leaning into comedy and relationship building, but still, nonetheless, it sets up that emotional third act beautifully.
What I did not like about the movie was the white lion that was being evil to the other lions and being a bully to them.
Yo, Zan, get your boy, dog.
Some of the things I didn't like about the movie is when Taka was being jealous of Mufasa for saving lives and being king instead of him being the king and saving other lions' life.
At about 2 hours, it's well paced for families with plenty of action, heartfelt moments, and callbacks to the original film. I think this is filling the backstory for a beloved character while still giving young viewers something fresh to connect with.
Now, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to enjoy this movie as much as I did. I wasn't sold on the first live action Lion King, and I honestly didn't even watch it. I just couldn't get into it. But Mufasa, yeah, that one definitely won me over. And watching it in IMAX, yeah, complete game changer. Whether you're taking your kids to see this or flying solo, this movie, it has something for everyone. It's not groundbreaking, but it's heartfelt, visually stunning. I mean, beautiful. And it honestly, hands down, it does justice to Mufasa's legacy. Now, what you guys have been waiting for, what are we giving Mufasa the Lion King? A heartbeat.
Feeling a heartbeat.
Now it's your turn. Have you seen Mufasa yet? Are there any other Disney prequels you would love to see in the future? Drop your comments below. We can't wait to hear from you. Even if you only had a little bit of fun hanging out with us today, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, support our channel and our journey. It's the easiest way to keep up and keep us strong, and we appreciate every single one of you.
All right, my beautiful people. As always, make sure you tell somebody you love them. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And remember, let us go to the movies for you. Bye.